M blames me for playing music that's inappropriate for her son in my AirPods S. Let's get right into this. I'm walking home from the supermarket with chocolate milk in hand, AirPods in, listening to Lithium by Nirvana. M comes up to me straight away with egg and says, "What are you listening to? It's always inappropriate rubbish these days." Can I hear? To prove her wrong, I disconnect my AirPods and it gets to the line where it says I'm so horny, but that's okay, my will is good in this. M snaps. M, how dare you listen to that disgusting inappropriate song near my son? Me, you asked to listen, so I'll let you. M, so you didn't take my son into consideration. That's extremely rude. Apologize immediately. Me, I did nothing wrong. I reconnect my AirPods and continue to listen to music. My phone's volume control on the AirPods is 4 bars, so very quiet. M, I hope you're not listening to that horrible song again around my son. Me, you can't hear what I'm listening to. M, I don't care if I can hear or not. Listening to your garbage when there's other people around in a park is disrespectful. You are showing that you don't care about my son's well-being. Me, lady, I don't even know who you are. And no, I don't care about your son. He's none of my business. M, teenagers these days are really rude. This is why. You should be ashamed. Entitled mom thinks if my garage door is open, she and her bratty son can search for and take what they want. M, I've been lurking here and have been afraid to post because I'm awkward and don't know if my stories will be as well liked as everyone else's, so here goes. I'm posting from my phone, so might be some mistakes. The stars, myself from about 16 years ago. I'm 28, so I was 14. M, my neighbor from across the street, a self-entitled mother. B5K, her 5-year-old child who obsessed over other people's stuff. The scene, my garage. During the summer between 7th and 8th grade, my parents would go to work and leave me with a giant list of chores so overwhelming, I would even try. Also, I live in Texas, so it would sometimes be too hot to try. One day, to avoid being crapped on, I decided I would attempt to do the chore, clean out the garage. My parents hoard shit and then get upset when they can't find what they want. And my stepfather just buys crap and doesn't even try to put it somewhere. So it's my job to organize the garage so that my mom can actually park her car. I'm moving stuff around for a few hours and I'm sweaty and hot, and all it looked like I was really doing anyway was just removing the mess. I come across my tricycle from when I was younger. I put it outside on the driveway so I can try to find a place for it later. I decide to take a break and go inside and fix some lunch. A couple minutes later, I hear rummaging in the garage and something break. I thought it was my cat. I look, it was B5K, sounds like a Star Wars droid name, searching through the place, looking around like he just found good treasure. Me, hey B5K. Where's your brother? B5K, he's grounded until Monday. Me, well, you should go home and play with him. What did you break? B5K, looks like he's going to cry. Me, listen, I don't play unless your brother is there too. Please go home. So I close the door. I thought that was the end of it. I go back to my food and VH1 music videos. When I'm done, I go back outside and I notice something is missing. The tricycle is gone. I knew who took it, B5K. So I get on my bike and ride it around the block. I catch up to B5K in almost no time at all. He tried to start pedaling faster, but it's a tricycle, so it's not like you can do that. I want everyone to know this. This was no plastic thing that leans back. This was made out of metal and looked almost like a very small bike. So anyway, I yell at the kid to stop. He starts crying and ignores me. I pedal up to him and get in front of him. He rides into my bike and falls. I don't help him up, but I take my trike back. I put it inside the house and then go back outside to finish up in my garage. Now, from across the street, to the left, I hear B5K yelling to someone. I assumed it was his older sister. She was a year behind me and didn't usually care about the stuff he complained about. So I expected her to come over here and just give me a little shit playfully and then go home. I go back to my chore and then I feel someone prod me between the shoulder blades. I assumed this to be his sister, so I turned around, ready for a pretty smile and a sarcastic chewing out. I was ill prepared for this because it was M, in all her age. M, what did you steal from my son? Me, nothing. M, my son says you took something from him while he was playing. Where is it? Me, I didn't give him a thing. He tried to steal a tricycle. M, where is it? Me, not telling you. M, you could have killed my boy. Me, looks at her very confused. M, he was only playing. Give him his tricycle back. Me, his tricycle? He got it from my garage. M, well you're too old for it. Me, look, lady. I'm just trying to finish a job so that I don't have to worry about it. Please walk away. I pulled my Siemens flip phone out of my pocket and called my mom. M promised to have my trike back when my mother came home and picked up her little thief and left. Edit. Thank you so much for my first post to ever receive a silver. Also, I did the correct maths. 28, 16 equals 12. I could swear I was 13/14, but I'm not sure now. I know that this happened when I was in middle school. Little hockey mom tries to defend her little angel from a boarding penalty, among others. Ek gets the crap beat out of him. Hello Reddit. I've been perusing this sub more often and almost thought my posting days were over. Little did I know. So some context. I play in a neighborhood hockey league, kinda like a beer league, but for children. It's almost not even organized, except an adult referees it, and sometimes parents show up. We had a game this fateful day, and as I was walking it, I noticed we were playing against X team, Bruins for simplicity. Our team was first in the league, Wild for simplicity, and X team was second, so it would be a grueling match. Now, Ek was normally a hypocritical bully in the first place, like dumping out water, throwing cheap shots, etc. And of course, whenever someone would retaliate, he would pull the whole, oh, woe is me, he shoo-vied me, which is legal, even in a milk league like mine, and when I say cheap shots, I mean dirt fucking cheap. He almost snapped my then crush's neck, after throwing a hip check on her, causing her to do a flip and land on her head. And when the whole team came skating at him calling for his head, he dead as skated behind the ref, petrified. So yeah. This is kinda pathetic. So we got our stuff ready and went on the ice for a pre-game skate and warm-ups. Immediately I saw that Ek had pranked one of his teammates with a taped skate blade, which made him fall. Ek just skated off, howling. Then, he yelled at his trendy for not saving the shot he had fired at him, almost going bar down, which is hella hard to save. From a half goalie perspective, I shoot a few warm-ups and skate around and eventually the game started. I checked in my trendy real quick, just to be sure she was ready, and eventually the puck dropped. I should also mention, this was one of those games that M decided to go to, and earlier in the season, she had been banned for yelling at the ref after Ek got called on slashing. Skipping a decent chunk of the first period, Ek had already given 2 big hits, which were legal. I was already kinda pissed, because one of them was on my, admittedly, crush. I kept playing, and eventually I had a breakaway opportunity and scored. Ek smashed his stick on the ground, nearly breaking it. His coach yells at him, and he goes off the ice. On to the next period, about halfway through, she starts talking smack to me like, Ek, that goal sucked, my dead grandma can shoot better than you, kid. Me, good for her, but at least her ankles aren't in pieces from getting dangled, like yours. Ek, please. I just lost my balance. Me, sure you did. It's at this point that I get a hard shove from Ek and the ref picks it up 2 minutes in the box for interference. M pipes up from the other end of the rink, M, oh come on. He barely touched him. Ah, awesome ref, ma'am. Please be a little less out there with your complaints. M. Fuck off. Homophobic slur. R. Raising his voice. Do I need to remove you from these premises? Again. M. No sir. Finally shuts the fuck up after the 2-minute penalty. Ek is released and immediately goes for a cheap shot on MC, my crush. She is skating the puck up the ice, bending it like a boss, and dangerously close to the boards too. Ek takes the opportunity to smash MC into the boards. One minor detail missed. She was facing the damn boards. So basically, Ek skated full speed and shoulder smashed her into pure wooden plexiglass. MC crumbles to the ground, holding her face. My whole team skated over and started tossing shoves and yelling at Ek. While the team nurse and MCM, my crush's mom, relevant later, the ref obviously calls for a penalty. That's when M tunes in and says, M, oh for God's sake. He didn't even touch her. She's just embellishing and being a russie. MCM goes over to deal with the M, while meanwhile Ek looks down at MC and says, Ek, remember how hard that smash was, then compare it to tonight's. This was the last straw. As he was getting his ego raised by his teammates, I throw down my gloves and sucker punch him in the face. He moves back and thrown his own gloves down. Ek, you made a big fucking mistake, bud. Me, try me, or he throws a wild haymaker that sends him tumbling to the ice. Once he's down, I go down as well and just start wailing on the kid. His nose pretty much exploded with blood, and the whole team was trying to pry me off of him. They eventually do, and future op here, not before I broke his nose and jaw. We were both escorted off the ice. Him because he was pissing blood out of his face like a fire hose, and me because I got a game misconduct. Tee itch. Me and MC both head back to the locker room. We sit down in the bench and I try to make her feel relaxed until the game ends. We eventually win 3-1, and learned after that Ek and M were banned from the league for the rest of the season, about 30 games. We disassembled out hockey gear, and all's well ends well. Side note, after MC's fractured jaw healed, we eventually had our first date. Thanks for reading. Hey guys, please remember to like and subscribe, it really helps my video out in the YouTube algorithm. Thank you for watching, hope you enjoy, and watch out for more Entitledbot videos.